Chapter 7. Child of God. The world does not change first. You do. The moment you decide that you are already the person you wish to be, the moment you dwell so deeply in that state that it becomes your natural way of being, the world will have no choice but to reflect it back to you. You must stop thinking of your desires and start thinking from them. There is a vast difference between the two. To think of your desire is to see it as something separate, something distant, something you must still work toward. But to think from your desire is to assume it is already yours. It is to feel the relief, the satisfaction, the absolute knowing that what you have wished for is already a part of your reality. What will it feel like if you already had everything you have ever asked for? Close your eyes and dwell in that feeling. Let it take over your being. Let it replace every doubt, every fear, every thought of separation. For as long as you remain in that state, it must manifest. The world must shift to match your new assumption. Do not waver. Do not let appearances deceive you. If you plant a seed in the ground, you do not dig it up the next day to see if it is growing. You trust that the process is unfolding, that unseen forces are at work, bringing your vision to life. So too must you trust in the power of your own assumption. The moment you claim something as yours, it is yours. The world may take time to catch up, but your only task is to remain faithful to your new reality. This is not wishful thinking. This is not pretending. This is the truth of how creation works. Everything you experience is the direct result of your state of being. Change the state, and the experience must change with it. Most people make the mistake of reacting to the world instead of creating it. They see lack and assume it is real. They see obstacles and assume they must fight against them. But the wise do not react. They create. They assume the feeling of already having what they desire, and they let the world rearrange itself accordingly. You must do the same. Child of God, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Help us spread the love. If you desire wealth, stop affirming that it is coming and start assuming that it is already here. If you desire love, stop seeking it outside of yourself and start embodying the feeling of already being loved. If you desire health, stop identifying with illness and start dwelling in the certainty of perfect well-being. And when the world begins to change, when circumstances shift, when opportunities arise, when what once seemed impossible suddenly unfolds effortlessly before you, you will not be surprised. You will not doubt. You will not marvel at your own power. You will simply nod, knowing that it could never have been any other way. For you will have lived as though your desire was already yours, and in doing so, you will have made it so. There is nothing more to seek. There is nothing more to wait for. There is only the assumption, the unwavering belief, the feeling of already being the person you wish to be. And once you step into that state fully, completely, without hesitation, the world will yield to you. It will reshape itself in your image. It will bring to you all that you have claimed as yours. Because the greatest secret is this: you were never separate from your desires. They have always been within you, waiting for you to assume them as real. And the moment you do, they will be. You now hold the key. You now understand that the world is not something you must struggle against, not something you must beg for, not something you must wait on. The world is your mirror, reflecting back only what you assume to be true. So what will you assume from this moment forward? Will you continue to see yourself as someone who is waiting, longing, hoping, or will you step boldly into the knowing that everything you desire is already yours? Will you walk as one who has already received, who no longer questions, who no longer seeks but simply is? This is your moment of decision. This is the moment where you stop letting life happen to you and start commanding it from within. Live now as though all your prayers have been answered. Move now as though the reality you once dreamed of is already here. Breathe now as though nothing is missing, as though nothing has ever been missing. For the truth is, nothing ever was. You were never separate from your desires. You were never unworthy. You were never powerless. You were always the creator, the authority, the force that shapes reality itself. And now knowing this, you can never go back to living as though you are anything less. Go forth not in hope but in certainty. Go forth not as a seeker but as one who is already found. Go forth and live as if God has already answered because He has. There comes a time in life when you find yourself walking a road that seems lonely a path, where familiar faces fade and the world you once knew feels distant. You wonder why relationships crumble, why the people you once trusted slip away, and why silence becomes your closest companion. But what if this solitude is not a punishment, but a divine invitation? What if God is setting you apart, not to break you, but to awaken something within you that only isolation can reveal? Every great transformation begins with separation. The seed must be buried in darkness before it can break open and reach for the light. The caterpillar must be wrapped in stillness before it can take flight. And so it is with you. God calls you into solitude because there are things He must whisper to your soul that the noise of the world would drown out. He removes the distractions, the opinions, the expectations, and even the comfort so that you may come face to face with your own divinity. When everything around you is stripped away, you begin to see clearly. You recognize that your strength was never in the crowd, but in the one who breathed life into you. You discover that your worth was never in validation, but in the truth that you were chosen before the foundation of the world. You realize that what you thought was loneliness was actually alignment, a sacred preparation for the destiny that awaits you. God isolates His chosen ones because He has called them to something greater. You cannot carry the weight of divine purpose while clinging to the things that no longer serve you. You cannot step into new blessings while holding on to old attachments. So He removes, He refines, He resets. The people who walked away were not meant to stay. The opportunities that slipped through your fingers were not meant to hold. The places you outgrew were not meant to contain you. If you feel alone, understand this. You are not abandoned. You are being elevated. This is the moment where you must trust not in what you see, but in the unseen hand that is guiding you. The stillness is not emptiness. It is an open space where God can pour into you without interference. The silence is not rejection. It is an invitation to hear Him more clearly. You were never meant to fit in because you were created to stand out. You were never meant to walk with the crowd because you were destined to lead. And if the journey feels lonely, it is only because God is calling you higher. Let this solitude mold you, strengthen you, and prepare you. Because when the time comes, you will not return as the person you once were. You will rise as the person you were always meant to be. There's a deep mystery in being set apart that the world does not understand. It is easy to believe that solitude is a sign of rejection, that isolation means something has gone wrong. But in the divine order of things, to be set apart is to be prepared. To be alone is to be strengthened. If you find yourself in a season where doors have closed, where people have walked away, where familiar comforts no longer satisfy, then you must understand this. God has removed you from the noise so that He may speak to you in the silence. You are not created to blend in with the world. You are not designed to follow the patterns of those around you. You are different, chosen, called for something greater than the ordinary rhythm of life. And when God calls someone into their true purpose, He often begins by stripping away everything they thought they needed. He takes away the things that were never truly yours to keep. He removes the relationships that would have hindered your growth. He separates you from distractions, from false security, from the need for approval. Because only in this sacred solitude can the truth of who you are be fully revealed. The discomfort of isolation is not meant to break you, but to refine you. When God removes everything familiar, He is asking you to trust in something greater than what your eyes can see. The foundation of your life is being rebuilt. Your mind is being renewed. Your spirit is being prepared for what is coming. And though it may feel painful, though it may feel as if you are wandering without direction, know this. Nothing is being taken away that will not be replaced with something far Look at the lives of those who were used mightily by God, and you will see a pattern. Every great leader, every great teacher, every great visionary was first called into isolation. Moses was set apart in the wilderness before he could lead. Joseph was betrayed and imprisoned before he could rule. David was anointed but had to endure years of solitude before he could wear the crown. Even Jesus himself withdrew into the wilderness before stepping fully into his divine purpose. Why? Because there are lessons that can only be learned in solitude. There is strength that can only be gained in stillness. There is a voice that can only be heard in silence. You have been called into this season not to suffer but to transform. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. You are not being abandoned. You are being positioned. And though your mind may seek answers, though your heart may long for understanding, faith will teach you that the answers do not come from the world, but from within. The solitude is not meant to weaken you. It is meant to awaken you. It is a divine reset and invitation to step into a new reality, one where you no longer rely on what is external, but on the infinite power that has always been within you. In this season, you must release the need for validation. You must let go of the illusion that you need people to complete you. You must surrender the idea that you are missing something, because the truth is, nothing has been lost. What is truly yours can never be taken from you. The people meant to walk with you will return in divine timing. The doors that need to open will do so effortlessly. But first, you must come to know yourself without all the external distractions. You must stand in your own presence, unshaken by the absence of others, unwavering in your faith that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Solitude is a mirror. It reveals what is hidden. It strips away the masks. It forces you to face the parts of yourself that have been neglected, the wounds that have been ignored, the fears that have been buried. And it is in this sacred unveiling that true healing begins. Because when everything external is removed, you are left with the only thing that ever truly mattered: your connection to the divine. This is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of something far greater than you can comprehend. Child of God. If you like our content, don't forget to like, comment, hit that share tab, and subscribe for more. Namesta.